Hi folks, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. Let me start by saying this isn't about picking sides or favouring one fighter over another. Honestly, I don't care who wins or loses. Now, just to give you some background, I've been involved in combat sports since I was 15. That was donkeys years ago, and kept going until I was 35, so I know a little bit about fighting. I used to gamble too, but I quit while I was ahead, and yeah, I did pretty well there as well. After retiring from work and leaving gambling behind, I started this channel to share my thoughts on fights, analyze matchups, and predict outcomes. Just doing it for a hobby. It's kind of like picking winners in a horse racing, just without the betting. Everything I say here is just my opinion. It's not about mocking out or criticizing fighters. But if I see a matchup that looks like a mismatch, I'm going to call it out. To me, it's like putting a champion racehorse in a low-level race. It just doesn't sit right. So no hard feelings. We all have opinions, and I'm just here sharing mine. Now, let's talk about Jai Opetaia defending his IBF title. This time, he faced an opponent who, let's be real, looked cherry-picked and pretty inexperienced. Before you start firing off comments, go check out my previous video breaking down Jai's fight against Nika. Let's break down the matchups and pick some winners. Let's start with Jai Opetaia defending his IBF Cruiserweight title against Nika. Jai's last fight against Elizora, well, that was an easy knockout in the first round. No surprise there. It was a pretty easy fight to make Jai look good. But hey, it's all about making an impression, yeah? Then Jai fought Mary Spradis, a 39-year-old veteran who's had his time. Jai beat him both times and took the IBF and ring title. Impressive, but both fights went 12 rounds, so it showed Bradis still had some gas left in the tank. Then Jai fought Jack Macy and knocked him out in the 6th round. Now about Nika, I can't see him going 12 rounds with Jai. Here is why. David's just not experienced enough. He's undefeated with 10 wins, 9 knockouts. Not bad, but let's be honest, most of his fights have been in New Zealand or Australia against weaker opponents. He's never fought in a big stage. When he fought Michael Seitz, David waited until Seitz tired out before taking him out in the 4th round with a body shot. It was pretty clear Seitz was out of shape. Then he beat Tommy Carpentier in a similar fashion. After a few rounds of Carpentier panting and running out of gas, David hit him with a body shot to end it in the 3rd. David's got good footwork, speed, and decent ring IQ, but he's too stiff in the upper body, and Jai's got to exploit that. So I just don't see David pulling off the win here. Jai Opetaia wins this one, and probably inside the distance. Look how inexperienced Nika is. His stance is unbalanced, body stiff, defense all over the place. He's sitting target for Jai. Instead of using his feet to get away to get his composure back, he's just waiting for Jai to punch him. If Jai was fighting an elite heavyweight with a power punching in both hands, Jai would have been in a trouble. Nika hasn't got the power. Here I see Nika running out of gas, got no idea what to do. He's just moving about, trying to figure out what to do, and his confidence is gone, and he walks into an uppercut with no defense. And here it is, Nika runs out of gas, holding for dear life, and then comes the knockdown. He didn't recover after that, and gets knocked out again. But this time he goes to sleep, and Jai wins the cherry pick fight. To be fair, Nika did land a few clean shots and even rocked Jai at one point. But think about it. What if Nika had more experience, better power, and sharper finishing skills? Jai could have been in serious trouble. Let's rewind a bit. Jai's rise to fame started after he beat Mary Spradis to claim the IBF title. Back then, I even said he was becoming one of my favourite fighters, and I still think that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. That win over Bradis, while impressive, was against an aging fighter, and it went the distance. After that, Jai faced an easy opponent, and now he's beating someone even easier. And of course, Eddie Hearn jumps in hyping Jai as the next superstar boxer and even claiming he could beat Alexander Usyk. Really, Eddie?
You have been around boxing a very long time. You are a well-travelled man. You are a seasoned promoter and one of the very best we've ever seen, future Hall of Famer. How good was that? How scary was that to see that sort of power? Because ringside we were all nervous, but that was a pure demonstration of absolute power.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most brutal sport of all, and you saw it up close tonight. I believe David Nika will be a world champion in the future, but not tonight, because he came up against not just the best fighter in Australia, but one of the best fighters in the world, in Jai Opetaia. Incredible atmosphere. You're talking about a very, very special fighter in Jai Opetaia. It's not just the belts at cruiserweight, it's the belts at heavyweight as well. Like I said, Australia's #1 pound-for-pound fighter, and now I think this is a guy that should enter the pound-for-pound rankings. Huge future ahead.
With that performance, Eddie, Jai moving forward now, does that now firmly become in the conversation now? We've been quiet on that heavyweight discussion and we know there's unification, but he could now potentially go down as one of the all-time greats in the discussion, potentially in future with guys like Alexander Usyk, one of the best ever.
Yeah, I think Jay's humble enough not yet to talk about the name of Alexander Usyk. I'm not, that's my job. For me, Alexander Usyk was the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He became undisputed. Then he moved to heavyweight to become undisputed at heavyweight. Jai is going to pick up all the belts in the cruiserweight division to become undisputed, and then we want to push him into a fight with Alexander Usyk as well to try and become undisputed at the heavyweight division as well. You have to search for greatness. He's good enough to do it. I believe he's the only person right now in the division, cruiserweight or heavyweight, that can genuinely give Alexander Usyk a real fight.
Are we supposed to believe that? Look, I get it. Promoters hype their fighters, but no fighter or promoter should start talking about beating elite competition until they've proven it in the ring. Boxing fans aren't stupid. We watch and we analyze and we compare. Saying Jai can beat Usyk after beating someone like Nika, come on, that's just insulting our intelligence. Now about Nika's performance, it wasn't exactly stellar, was he? He gassed out after 2 rounds. By the third, he had no energy left. And by the fourth, his punches had no impact. That fight wasn't a real test for Jai. Jai's got a potential, no doubt, but he's not world class yet. He's still got technical flaws to fix. If he moves up to heavyweight too soon, he could be in real trouble. Heavyweight's a lot harder than someone like Nika. And jumping divisions without being fully ready, that could end badly. For now, cruiserweight is where Jai belongs. Sure, the money might be better at heavyweight, but so are the risks. So what do you think? Should Jai move up to heavyweight like Eddie's suggesting? Or should he stay at cruiserweight and prove himself first? No disrespect to Eddie, but hyping Jai like this feels more like trash talk than reality. That's my take. What's yours? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, folks. Ciao!